Hello everyone, welcome back to Mocking Ariana Free. It's Sunday, which means a new video, and in today's video we're going to be listing who the best hip hop dancers are on the next step. I am basing this list off who the next step Wikia says is a hip hop dancer. I'll insert the little list here of all of them. Some of them are only people who came to the audition or were like background characters, so I'm not including them. I'm just including like the people who actually spoke, were on A Troop, or were just main characters. It's not ranking dancers in real life, end of. This is just characters, and it's also just my opinion. You're entitled to have a differing opinion, but ultimately this is mine, so I hope you respect that. So on my list I have 12 dancers, and in 12th place I have put Josh, and I've put Josh because personally, when I watch him, I don't feel like he has a lot of personality. He's just a bit one level. He can do some flips, and also he can kind of do a broader range of movement. Yet overall, I don't think he's that interesting of a dancer to watch. Like, he never really had that much of an impact on me. Number 11 on my list is Kenzie, and Kenzie is, I think, she classes herself as a hip-hop acro dancer, or maybe just acro, I'm not really sure. But she's very sassy and fierce, but when I was analysing her dancing, I felt like when it comes to hip-hop, it's very cheerleadery style. And she did say, like, I don't know if this is Emily or Kenzie, like Emily's the girl who plays Kenzie, that she was a cheerleader, and that's what inspired her to start dancing.
I started dancing to help my cheerleading. I'm amazing at it. Some people are just fire.
So I think her style is very cheerleadery, like it's very forced faces and very energetic and showy, you know what I mean? So yeah, Kenzie's just where she is because I feel like she's good, but she's not as good as the other people. Next on my list is season 6 dancer Finn, and I really didn't like Finn at first. From his off-season episode where we first saw him, I was like, I'm not going to enjoy this character, because I just wasn't into forced humour or just stupid characters, you know. But I've really grown to love Finn as the season's gone on, and obviously now season 6 is finished. I really do like him, and I also like him a lot more as a dancer. I respect him a lot more now. I feel like when he dances by himself, so when he was auditioning not to be the alternate, and also in the off-season that we saw, he's not very strong. I feel like he has very limited moves, and nothing is really that impressive. But when he's in a group dance, and obviously the level is slightly higher, I feel like that pushes him in a good way, and it brings out the best in him. Like, he can do flips, and also he has a lot more stage presence than say Josh does. And in the season 6 hip hop routine at regionals, I thought he was really good in that. I thought he was great when he led certain bits of it, but I just think sometimes his moves can look a bit messy and rushed, and kind of like he's just improvising, but improvising for the sake of it. Like, he's just throwing together lots of different moves that don't go together necessarily. But that's just my opinion, and I'm quite glad that I've grown to like Finn a lot more than I did originally. Next on my list is Sloan. Sloan was on A Troop in the next step season 4, and she was in a little bit of season 6. But ultimately she was in season 4. She's good at what she does, so she does a lot of whacking and tutting with her arms. She doesn't have as broad a range of movements as the other dancers that are above her, and also I feel like she lacks stage presence. I just feel like she could always give a little bit more. Unless Sloan had done her regionals solo in season 4 as well as she actually did it, she'd be rated a lot lower to me, because out of everybody that has come beneath her, I feel like Sloan looks the most comfortable on stage and definitely has a flair for hip hop. So while the other people might be able to flip and do aerials and whatnot, if you look at everybody else doing solos and compare it to Sloan's regionals one, I think you'll find that she is the most confident and looks the best doing hip hop out of everybody else. Next on my list is a character that I really like as well, and that is Ozzy. I really want to put Ozzy a bit higher than this because I personally really like Ozzy's dancing, but on a scale of hip hop dancer, he is where he is. He can do aerials, but I don't think he can do flips as such. So that's why he is where he is. And also, when it comes to hip hop, I always feel like Ozzy is just not the weak link, but compared to everybody else, he's kind of not quite there. He kind of isn't as sharp as everybody else. Like, I was watching Slow Up, what's it called? Slow Up, let me roll up. The dance with Latroy and all the boys, and he just seemed to me like he was the weakest in that, because his moves weren't as sharp, and his dance style personally is very like, it gives me a Latin vibe, a very ballroom, because he uses a lot of his hip movements and is very like, you know, flowy. So I think that's why Ozzy dances the way he dances when he does like strong, sharp hip hop, which, you know, is fine because that's his individual style. And I'd say Ozzy is more of a freestyle dancer simply because he has a blend of everything. But Ozzy has a lot more stage presence than the people beneath him, and he dances with a lot of personality, so I think that compensates for a lot of the things that he's not as good at. Zara's higher than the people that have preceded her because she can do a lot of flips, and she is more of a technical dancer because she's not necessarily a hip-hop dancer. I don't know why she's classed as one, because she says that she is a jazz funk dancer, which is basically jazz that's a bit more funky. Although she's quite a shy character, when she dances, Zara has quite a lot of personality. Like when she was in the trio, well, auditioning against Jackie and Rochelle, she did a lot of faces to try and win that hip hop solo, and she's very fierce and she's sharp with movements. Next on the list is Latroy, and I've put Latroy higher than everybody else because he has a lot of personality when he dances, but he's also excellent at animation. I don't think anyone before him is like on his level when it comes to animation dancing, so all the little isolations and things like that. The way he dances is very artistic, I think. Like, it's always like he's telling a story, and he does it very effortlessly as well, so I really like that about him. I haven't rated him as high as obviously the people that are higher than him because I don't think I've ever seen him do any flipping or like proper break dancing. It always seems to just be animation, and obviously that's fine because that's his style, but on a scale of hip-hop dancers, Latroy has to be where he is. If it was a scale of animation dancers, Latroy would be number one. And one above Latroy is Hunter, but I didn't actually film myself saying this. I'm having to insert it later on while I'm editing because Hunter wasn't actually on the list of hip hop dancers. I'm not sure why. I think it might be because he's actually classed as like a break dancer or something, but I'm going to put Hunter in this list as well. I'm putting Hunter above everyone else that's beneath him because he can do more of a range of movements. He can do flips, he can do cool tricks, he can slide on his head, he can do breakdancing, he can do a little bit of animations, he can do isolations. I don't think he can do a proper like backflip or anything like that. He usually puts his hands down, which is obviously fine because like I can't do a backflip or anything, but that's obviously something for him to work on. Anyway, next on my list is Kingston, and I've put Kingston here because I think that compared to Ozzy and Finn in particular, because they're obviously in the same season as him, his moves are a lot sharper and more impressive. Kingston's flips are really, really underrated, I think. Like, he gets so high when he does them. And I think just Kingston overall as a dancer is underrated. I think he's really, really good. I haven't rated him any higher on the list purely because I don't really know. I don't know. He's just very good at what he does. In fourth place, we have Tiffany from season 1, 2 and a little bit of season 4. She's really, really sassy and fierce, and she has loads of energy. She can flip like crazy, and I'm pretty sure that she said she was a cheerleader as well, kind of like Kenzie, but I feel like Tiffany's a lot more fluid and just has so much energy. It's like crazy. She's really, really good, and I think she danced the best in her season 2 audition, even though she didn't make the team in did she? She just had so much star power to me and confidence that I just think she deserves to be fourth through and through. She definitely is a hip hop dancer. She does whacking and tutting rather than break dancing as such, but I just think that her skill set is a lot better than everyone who comes before her in terms of her energy, her facials, her flips, her tumbling, her sass. So yeah, I just feel like everyone beneath Tiffany they could get higher by having more sass and more attitude and more stage presence, and then they might be on her level. But Tiffany's just amazing to me, and her season 2 audition was definitely the best time she danced. So in third place we have Henry, and I wanted to rate Henry higher because I think some of the stuff he does is amazing. Like when he turns around on his knees, that's one of my favourite moves from him. He's really, really sharp with his moves, really impressive, full of energy. His leaps are really, really high, and he's tumbling and flips and everything. But I haven't rated him as high as the other people because I feel like he could always afford to bring a bit more personality to his dancing. Because Henry is a very quirky person. I feel like he could always just bring a little bit more of that to his dancing. I'm not really sure how he could do it. But yeah, third place is still pretty good. So Henry is in third. I feel like the brightness is going up like crazy. In second place, I've put one of my favourite dancers, and that is James. James is a really humble dancer, I think. Like, I don't think James realises how good he is. He's just kind of cool, you know, don't even worry about it. So I've put James in second because although he's really humble, and like when I think of hip hop dancers, I don't automatically think of James, but I just think some of the tricks that James can do are really, really cool. He does them excellently. He has a lot of energy and stage presence, and he uses his face really well. And he just does everything really effortlessly. It's just like dancing is easy to James. James can also do tricks that Tiffany can't, which is why he's higher than them. Like he can do that thing where he leans backwards and his legs come up and then he jumps back up. That's the one thing that I think is iconic of James. And I've put him higher than Henry purely because I would rather watch James than Henry because James has more personality when he dances. And in first place, I'm very sure that you can guess who it is. I've put West. West is an amazing hip hop dancer, and West just dances so individually that I think it's amazing. He has a huge amount of tricks like within his grasp. Like he can backflip off walls, and he can dance with a basketball. He can do isolations and like dislocate his arms almost, and he just always dances really effortlessly like James, and everything just seems really easy to West. His flips are really, really high, and he shows a lot of personality when he dances. It's like you can just tell that West is West. I think also what makes West one of my favourite dancers and one of the best is how humble he is. Like I don't think West realises at all how good he is. Like obviously everyone at the next step knows it, like they tell him, and he's kind of a legend, but he's never once said like, oh, I want to be the male soloist, or oh, I think I should win this, because he's just humble. Like I don't think he realises. So that was me ranking the hip hop dancers of the next step. I hope you enjoyed the video. Comment down below who maybe you'd put in top position. Maybe it's West, maybe it's someone else. And make sure you subscribe because we're very near to 10,000 subscribers and I'd love to get there. Just remember that this is all my opinion and I'm not ranking necessarily the dancers in real life, because sometimes dancers in real life dance very different to how they dance on screen. It's just the characters, and the characters are fictional, so their feelings aren't going to be hurt. They're not going to see this. It's fine. So yeah, I'll see you on Wednesday, I think. I don't know I haven't filmed a video for Wednesday yet, so I might not. But if I don't, then I'll see you on Sunday. Bye, guys.